what's going on, family? Listen, we've had a lot of amazing guests on the show, and perhaps you may have never ever listened to those episodes. So we wanted to present a new segment called SONW Classic, where we go back, we revisit those iconic conversations and give those full episodes back to you. Sit back and enjoy this week's SONW Classic. We're bringing on, I want to welcome to the show the one and only Emily Vavra is in the building. Take me back to like the young Emily growing up. Where are you from?
I'm from the Midwest. So I'm from Minnesota, and I was raised by a single mom, the youngest of three, and lots of hardship growing up. My mom had an abusive live-in boyfriend. I didn't have a relationship with my dad. I could have gone to the dark side, but thank God I had some good mentors and got involved in athletics. And yeah, that was my upbringing. But then, after high school, I was like, I don't really want to do college. I'm not sure what I want to do. So I got involved in entrepreneurship, reading books, and found a mentor. And that's really when I started network marketing when I was 23.
What would you say, if you could tell your younger self anything right now, from all the things you've learned, what would you say to that young Emily?
I'd say think bigger, faster. But I would definitely say to find a mentor faster and really ask for help much sooner. I didn't do that until I was 23, which for some might think, oh, well, that's still really young. But I was searching when I was 19 and kind of spinning my wheels until I realized, hey, this person has what I want. How can I work with them? And that's what accelerated my growth once I actually got a mentor.
For the person that's listening to the show right now, trying to figure out how to approach the right mentor, what would be your advice?
Find a creative way to add value to their life. What I have recognized, if I want to have a moment with a successful person, I want to find a way to add value to their life. And so in the beginning of my journey, I asked a woman that I admired, how can I serve you? Is there a way that I can be around when you're hosting events? If I can come in early, help set up chairs, help set up the projector, if I can carry your coat for you. I mean, I really had that mindset of, let me show up for her, be better energy for her. And then, I'll watch how she moves. I'll watch how she talks to people. I'll watch what she does. And then eventually I earned a seat at the front seat of her car. Honestly, she wanted me to be with her. And that's the approach that I always have, is just find creative ways that you can serve someone that you look up to.
Oh, that's powerful. I mean, you're talking about service, you're talking about gratitude, you're talking about really, thinking outside of the box.
Because I was a nanny, I was a massage therapist. I had a random website where I taught people how to eat clean. I was trying, I just was getting nowhere fast. At the end of the month, I paid my bills. I had a little bit of spare change left over. And I'm like, I don't want this. I'm working every hour in the day. So I really made a decision about joining, in my case, network marketing. And I decided, hey, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go all in with it. And so that's what I did. I burned the boats. I burned the ships, right? I was like, there's no turning back, and I'm going to give this my all for 5 years and see what really happens. And I ended up moving in with my mentor. We were both single. We're like, hey, we live in Minneapolis. Let's just do it. Let's unplug our TV. And no joke, we put vision boards up everywhere. We had statements up, like I am statements. And we just decided to go to work on ourselves, most importantly, but then in our business. And we knew, hey, if we build a foundation, we can live a life that most only dream of. And that's truly what happened. That was when I was 23. I'm making six figures by the time I was 24 and then became a millionaire by the time I was 26. And it's because, though, of the hyper focus and discipline that I put into where I was going. And I made a real decision. And, that's everything. And I think a lot of people just really haven't decided what they wanted.
It's almost like you trained your mind, right, into the aspect of saying, you know what, I am this, I am that. What are some of those affirmations that you said in the past that you're currently saying today?
So I had to go to work on my mindset of feeling worthy, knowing that I'm worthy. And I would do it in the morning, still to this day. It's never over, right? Success, it's never over, but I do it in the morning and at night. And I got so pissed off at a point in my life that I took my favorite red lipstick and I wrote, "I am worthy of all the best love and life has to offer," it on my bathroom mirror. And when I brush my teeth, I'm saying it and I'm saying it and I'm saying it, I'm saying it, I'm saying it. And I'm just reconditioning myself and my brain and my subconscious. And along with that, pairing myself and really getting around people that thought 10 times bigger than I did, all that together helped create who I am today, for sure.
You're somebody who obviously has to have the right team around you. What would be like one of the things to look for right now for somebody who's getting to that point of expansion and building a team? What's the one thing that you were looking for in the very beginning?
Yeah, every Batman needs a Robin, right?
Nice.
And I'm not too proud to think that I could just do this all on my own. And that's been my biggest epiphany, I think, in this past year, is that if I really want to grow and expand, I need to find the people that are gifted in other areas that I can partner with that are going to help drive the mission forward.
Emily, I want to ask you this question we've asked everybody who's ever been on this podcast, that ever came on here on the show. And it's this: if you were that person, right, who is getting ready to graduate, perhaps you have no degree at all, you didn't even go to school, and you're asking yourself the question of the podcast, school's over, now what? What advice would you give?
I would tell you to get as many books, personal development books, as you can, and find a mentor, whether they're virtual or in person. Try to get to conferences. Just get around people that are doing what you want to do, or at least that you think you want to do. But understand this, it's okay and it's beautiful to be curious. I was very curious. One of my biggest pieces of advice is never act like you've arrived, because the minute you arrive, you begin your decline. And I've always been curious about other humans, about ways I can get better, about business, just about spiritual growth. Like, you learn and then you teach. Because when you learn and then you do and then you teach, that's where true fulfillment comes. Take it from someone who earned millions really early in life. True fulfillment is when you pass on what you learn and you serve another human being. I get more juice out of that than I do carrying my Louis Vuitton handbag. Okay.
Facts.
And I live on the ocean. I live a dream life. But just don't forget to keep your heart in your work.
Yes.
And I think sometimes when we get involved and get really like love and superficial stuff, you go into your head more than your heart, and that changes the way you operate.
Yo, what you think? I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I want to know what you learned. So if you wouldn't mind, would you take a screenshot of you listening to the podcast on your phone right now? Upload to your Instagram stories, tag me at Shawn Anthony _, and then let me know in that Instagram story what is one thing that you learned. I love hearing from you, my listeners, thought leaders, former or current students all around the world. Let me know, and while you're doing this, go inside the podcast app, subscribe, leave a 5-star review and a 5-star rating. Again, this helps us reach more people. And if you want to be a part of this mission, helping us change the world one person at a time, it makes a massive difference by you leaving a review. Thanks so much. I'll see you next week. And remember, dream it, believe it, go out and get it.